Hi guys, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you from wherever you're watching this video. If this is your first time that you're joining us, tunasema karibu sana. Ambetsa Oparanya has become the topic of the day because he is trending on all social media because of what is happening in the political paradigm shift. So, in the atmosphere of politics, it is speculated that President Ruto may appoint Wycliffe Oparanya as his running mate ahead of 2027 general election, because this is also a demand from the Western people that if President William Ruto wants to secure his second term re-election, then he must appoint Wycliffe Oparanya as his running mate. But ladies and gentlemen, do you think that President Ruto can appoint Ambetsa Oparanya as his running mate ahead of 2027 general election? Because to me, it is also possible because the president is making some calculations here. The people of the mountain have decided to become adamant and they have made a stand that they won't support President Ruto ahead of 2027 general election. And to me, this is some of the reasons as to why President Ruto is considering Western region as a voting bloc that may boost his re-election. But the question is, can Wycliffe Oparanya manage to consolidate the Western votes in the basket of President William Ruto? Because I think this idea, the president is buying it because of the damage control that Sifuna has already created in the Western region. And Sifuna is becoming a threat to President William Ruto's re-election bid. Why? This is because of the force that Sifuna has created in the Western region. Because the Western nation has decided to rally behind Sifuna and they have promised to support him. Even the bigwigs, the tycoons, the businessmen, the wealthiest of the Western region have decided that they will throw their weight behind Edwin Sifuna. And therefore, Wycliffe Oparanya is like a neutralizing force in the Western region as far as Ruto is concerned. But the biggest bone of content and the question here is that can Oparanya neutralize Western for President Ruto? To me, I think this is an uphill task because Sifuna has already made inroads within the Western region and Sifuna is now becoming like a darling of the Western people. And anybody who will try to go there with a different agenda or topic as far as changing their minds from supporting Sifuna and supporting President Ruto will be treated like a useless person and he will be taken just for granted because the people of Western believe that it is their turn to produce a president and they believe that this is the chosen one. So to me, President Ruto's calculations may not work. Let him try, but if he chooses Oparanya has no say as far as the Western region is concerned. The people like Natembeya, Godfrey Otsotsi, Wakina Wangamati, these are the people who are now controlling the Western region politics. The people like the former Vice President Mudi Awori, the people like Ambwere. So to me, the president is kind of miscalculating. The Western region bloc is gone. And these people, they will support Edwin Sifuna. So therefore, every effort that President Ruto is trying to make may not yield positive results as far as the Western region is concerned. Even Musalia Mudavadi and even Moses Wetangula, the Speaker of the National Assembly, these people, they are going to find it very hard. They are going to find it very rough in as far as penetrating the Western region in seeking for President William Ruto's votes is concerned. So, to me, I think the president must sit down and calculate once again where he can throw his weight as far as picking a running mate is concerned. I see the northern region. That is where the people like Aden Duale comes from. Duale claims that he will push for 5 million votes to come from the northern region, that William Ruto will get close to 5 million votes. If this can work, I would advise the president to try Aden Duale if the northern region can work. But the regions that President Ruto needs not to put more focus, the Nyanza region, because the people of Nyanza, ideally, these people don't vote. Even during the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's time, they used to come out, but not in large numbers, because Raila Odinga's name is on the ballot box or ballot paper. But this time round, minus Raila Odinga's name in the ballot paper, these people, they won't turn out in large numbers to vote. In other words, the president has an uphill task to do in order to secure this re-election. Western region is also untouchable. These people, they are going to vote as a bloc. So these two regions, President Ruto is banking on them, especially Nyanza region, because of the broad-based government, the appointments that are happening from the Luo nation. But these people, they won't bring more votes for President Ruto as Ruto perceives. So to me, if Ruto will lose the Western region, and if Ruto will lose the Mountain region and Nyanza, then Ruto is walking on a tightrope, because these things will not work for him as far as the Nyanza and the Western is concerned. The Nyanza people are just there because the projects are being taken there and the appointments in the government, but in real sense, when it will come to voting, it will be a rude shock. The Western region is clocked for Edwin Sifuna. So ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Can Ruto pick Wycliffe Oparanya as his running mate in 2027? And another question, can Oparanya bring vote for William Ruto as far as the Western region is concerned? That is the question, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, until we meet in the next analysis, you can go ahead and like the video and turn on the notification bell for more videos like this, because whenever I post, YouTube will automatically let you know.